Today on NFL Network, you saw Elliot Harrison reveal his top 32. We're just going to deal with the top 10. We paint in broad brushes here on NFL Total Access. Saints number 1, that's a no-brainer there. There's a team's logo in here that's very famous that I don't see in the top 10. I would like some explanation here. So we brought in the man himself. Merry Christmas, Elliot Harrison.
Is it the University of North Texas Mean Green?
It was. I want to see, or the Tulane Green Wave I would have accepted as well. No, actually I want to know right now that one of your big movers, someone's fallen in love with Lamar Jackson and this rushing attack for the Ravens. You got Baltimore up 5 spots.
Yeah, that's a big move at this time of the year, especially in this rarefied era, the top 10. But, Scott, they just took it to the Chargers. They have been playing great football, and I think they're a team that nobody wants to play. Now, you hear that a lot, but what does that actually mean? To me, it means how do you defend them? Because when you play the Ravens, you're not playing 11 on 10. You're playing 11 on 11. Once that quarterback puts the ball in Gus Edwards' belly, you don't know if he's going to keep it. If your ends get aggressive and crash like Myles Garrett this weekend, he could take off. That's why the Ravens plus the number 1 defense didn't hurt.
There you go. And they're so hard to prepare for.
Yes.
Yeah, you want to play a wide receiver and your scout team quarterback? Okay, fine. You're not going to get the passing look.
Right.
So, all right. So Ravens go up 5. The logo I was looking for is the one with the star on the helmet.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
The Dallas Cow. You got Dallas at 13. They're a division champ.
I get that they're a division champ, but these aren't power standings, first of all. And you look at the team right now. Yes, the defense is fantastic, but that game against the Colts worries me.
Okay.
It's one thing to have a hiccup like the Seahawks in your division and lose to the 49ers in a 1-score game, Scott. It's another thing to go to Indy and lose 23-0. Also, quarterback play. They're taking 1 sack every 9 attempts. That's a lot. Dak's holding the ball a little too long.
All right, so they're 13. Mm-hmm. There are 12 teams in the playoffs, and the Cowboys are one of them. That means someone's got to be out in your top 12. Who's not making the postseason?
It's hard, but I think it's Pittsburgh. First of all, they've got to beat Cincinnati, which I think they'll do. Of course, we saw what Cincinnati did last year, didn't we? And then Cleveland would have to beat Baltimore, and I really like Cleveland. And if this game were in Cleveland, I would pick it that way, but I think the Ravens will win. I think those Browns edge defenders will be too aggressive on the Lamar Jackson keepers, and the Ravens are going to win, which would boot the Steelers out. Unless the Titans and Colts tie.
We're not going to go down that path there. I've already hurt my brain with the 128 AFC possible
There's that many?
combinations. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, and I'm responsible for memorizing them. Good to see you, Elliot. Merry Christmas. See you next week for the season finale.
You bet.
Meanwhile, a little heat check for a team you do not want to see in the playoffs. We asked the guys from the Aftermath. Rhett Lewis, take it away.
Hey, thanks very much, Scott. Got my Aftermath crew here with me. Mike Silver, Daniel Jeremiah, Steve Weich. Guys, 3 playoff spots left up for grabs as we head into Week 17, 2 in the AFC, 1 in the NFC. As it sits here right now, how about one team that you would not want to see in the postseason, Mike Silver?
I think that team is the Seattle Seahawks, and, they quietly have retooled that whole operation around Russell Wilson on offense, Bobby Wagner on defense, and I don't believe they've peaked yet. And when they do, all of a sudden this model that they have successfully used where they pound the ball on the ground and don't make Russell Wilson do exceptional things, you can kind of junk that blueprint in a pinch and let Russell Wilson elevate. And just as I used to think, if the Packers can get in on down years, Aaron Rodgers could just elevate. Watch out for Russell Wilson when he decides
he did on
to take
Sunday night
over.
against the Chiefs, no question about it. What about you, DJ?
Well, to me, it's maybe a sequel that could be out there, Honey, I Shrunk the Game, because that's the Baltimore Ravens. I'm there watching them against the Chargers, and it's like, whoa, the first quarter's over. Where did that go? Oh, we're already at halftime. I mean, They just hold the ball. They suck the life out of you defensively. They're big and physical at the point of attack to stop the run. They've got big corners on the outside to match up with your size. They've got one of the better nickel corners in the league inside to be able to handle you there as well. So, to me, I don't know that anybody's anxious to see this Baltimore Ravens group.
No one's anxious to see either one of those teams, but I'm going with the New Orleans Saints, though. I mean, because they're playing in New Orleans. Both those teams you're talking about, at some point they're probably going to have to go on the road. Whoever has to come through the road in NFC has got to come down through the 504. And we see New Orleans, the way they're playing, 6-1, even in tight games, they're very good down there. People are saying, okay, their offense hasn't been lighting it up like it was earlier in the season. So what? Their defense is making enough plays. They're doing enough things. We saw against Pittsburgh, forcing the turnovers, taking advantage of plays on third down. They're doing just enough. And you also look at the fact, Drew Brees, when you look at the other division champs, guys, in both conferences, look at all the young quarterbacks who really haven't been there before. I like the Drew Brees factor. course they're the top seed. This is easy
Well,
for you
and
right
their
now.
offense came back to life a little bit in Week 16,
Yeah,
right? And so you feel a little bit better about that. Now, I'll ask you.
I still have this weird feeling, though, that a young quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, might be able to go to an even different level and just outscore everybody.
What about the best quarterback in the playoffs last year? What if the Eagles find their way into the postseason? Anybody want to match up against that team?
Look at what they've done the
470?
last 2 weeks against two 10-plus win teams. They've dominated the last scrimmage.
You know what they're bringing? They're bringing that big Nick energy. Do not sleep on the Eagles.
I knew that was coming. Nobody mentioned the Patriots, who just won their 10th
and
consecutive
that's just,
AFC East
they're
title.
right where they want to be.
By the way, are 5-0 against current playoff teams right now this season.
Yeah, they know when it matters most, but look, this is the first time we've come down to the stretch of the season where not all of us are feeling comfortable about the Patriots. They're not playing their best football. They're manufacturing things. They do what they do. They're just so well coached and they execute so well.
It always breaks in favor of the Patriots. Now they've got themselves the number 2 seed. You just have a feeling somehow Kansas City will get knocked off and they'll end up being at home for 2 games and back in the Super Bowl. We've seen this. I've seen this play a million times.
It is a weird feeling to see them struggling a little bit this late in the season. Usually it happens early and they fix it. This Week 16 against the Bills, Tom Brady threw more interceptions than touchdowns for the first time all season.
I'm not done with the LA teams. Rams and Chargers are very much in it.
I'm with you. They can bounce back.
That's what's so fun about the playoffs this year. You can make a case for every single team that gets in with the names we know. They can win the whole thing.
The how and the why. That's what you get every Monday on the Aftermath, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on NFL Network.